Welcome back. Tom Ray here, e-learning and content manager for Fluke eMate, and we are about to talk about part 2 of our Fluke Mobile series. This part will focus on work orders in Fluke Mobile for X5. So let's get started. I am at my login screen here for Fluke Mobile, and we're going to go ahead and log in. Go to our Bonita Springs site, and we are going to look at some work orders. I'm currently in the work order tab, as you can see here, and I can scroll down the screen to get an idea of the work orders that I have available to me right now. In our previous video, the overview of Fluke Mobile, we spoke about the difference between mine and all. Just to give you a quick refresh, mine will show all work orders that are currently assigned to me. All will show other work orders that I can assign to myself if I would like to, and we will be showing this process shortly. For now, we're going to go into mine, and we will just take a quick look at the work orders that I have currently assigned to me. What you can see here is a brief description of the work order, the schedule, date, the work order type, and the asset that it's associated with. You can also see the work order number and the status of the work order. In this case, these are all open work orders. And down here at the bottom, you see assignments, and you notice it says mine, total, and then view all. Mine means it is assigned to me. Total is how many people are totally assigned to this work order. For example, many people could be assigned to one work order, and I can click the View All button to see all of the assignments for this particular work order. What we're going to do now is we're going to look in this work order 3633, because I created this work order earlier so that we can look at the different task procedure types that we can use in Fluke Mobile. Once you have a work order that you would like to look into, click on View Details at the bottom here to view that work order's details. From here, I see the asset is the Ford F-150 Raptor. I see the task description or the brief description. It's a preventive work order, so I know it's a PM, and the date. If there were any comments that were made, they would be here. And if there was a more detailed work description, it could be here under work description. I do have the option to click the button down here at the bottom right to edit this information if I need to edit it. For example, if I want to put in my comments, when I'm done, I could do it here. And if I needed to add to the work description, I could put it here as well. I'm not worried about that, so I'm going to go ahead and click on the button here just to go back and save this. We have the tabs at the very top of our work order here. I have procedures, which we will talk about in a moment. Documents. Currently for work order documents, there are none, but for the asset documents, I do have one, which is a photo of the asset, so I know that I'm working on the right one. So this is the Raptor that I'm going to be working on. Part requirements. In this case, I did add a part requirement. At the scheduled work order level, you can add part requirements. And then those part requirements, when it turns into a regular work order, will be here in the part requirement tab for the work order. In this case, the PM is telling me that I need to use this cabin air filter and I need to use one of them. If this was true and I really needed to use it, it does make my job a little bit easier as the technician, because now I only have to click this one button, Add to Part Charges, to add the part to my work order. I do not have to go to Part Charges here and click the plus button and find the part, because the part's already here waiting for me to click Add to Part Charges. In the event that this part is not here, I can go to Part Charges and use the plus button here to search for any part. We have a couple of options here. Number one, I could choose to see only parts that have ever been used for the asset. If I hit that checkbox and then search, then only parts that have ever been used for the asset will be here. In this case, you can see the Reese cup has been used from different locations, from location 101 and 501 and Tom's desk on this particular asset. This is basically your bill of materials for your asset. If I go back and go back again, let's do the part charge for a different part. What I can do here is, if I know the part, I could search for it by using the magnifying glass. And if it was barcoded, I could use the barcode scanner to scan the part. It would automatically pull it up for me. But if I don't know the part, then I would have to do a search. So I could search by either pick a location, one of these locations. Let's say, for example, I want to know, I know the part exists in storeroom B. If I click storeroom B, but I still don't know exactly what the part's called, I can click search, and any part that's located in storeroom B will be here on the screen. For example, let's say I needed to use this test item. I have 19 of them. It's in shelf A and bin 3. Hit your circle here and say how many that I want. I need to take one of these, and the little greater than sign up here, it has now added this part charge to this work order. If I want to add a miscellaneous charge for a part that's not usually in stock, I could do it here by clicking on the plus button and then giving a quantity and then a cost of what this miscellaneous charge was. I'll say $5. In the real world, I would have another field here that I could type in and tell them what this thing was, what this miscellaneous charge was. I would go to form design and fix this a little bit better. I have the option for labor charges to do it two different ways. One way is to manually put in a labor charge by hitting the plus button, and the other way is to hit the start button and make the labor charge that way. I'm going to show you the start method first. And then the assignments tab, I see that I'm currently assigned, but I could also, if I needed to, hit the plus button and assign someone else to the work order that would be assigned to it as well as me. Let's go to the details again here at the very beginning, and we will walk through the process of doing this work order. Hit my start button, start again. You'll now notice that the timer is going. If I go back to my work order by clicking the clock, I'm in the work order. If I happen to go to the work order list view, I will notice that one of the work orders has the clock running. This is the one that I just started. The clock can only be running for one work order at one time. View details again, and let's go ahead and start working on this work order. I'm first going to look at the procedures for the work order. I have put in one of each type of procedure that we have in X5 for Fluke Mobile. The first procedure is one that's called a completable task. This task, the only thing the technician can do is simply mark it completed. That's all they can do. And you will notice that as I click this completed, it automatically scrolled the screen up to the next task, which in this case is the ability to enter in procedure meter reading. So this task says meter reading task. In the real world, I would probably tell them take an odometer reading. In this case, I'm going to click select here to select the meter I want to use. And I'm going to click the miles meter and then input the miles that are on the truck. And we'll say 2100 and save that. Now that it's saved, that 2100 value will go on the meter of the Raptor. The next type of procedure is one that's called pass, fail, urgent repair. In this case, I'm going to go ahead. I have 3 of them here because I would like to demonstrate for you all 3 choices. If I pass it, it simply moves up to the next one. If I fail it, it'll still move up to the next one. However, when I finally close this work order and complete it, this failed procedure will automatically become a follow-up work order. And the follow-up work order will take the name of the procedure. In this case, the procedure was called fail this procedure. That'll be the work order name when it's created as a follow-up work order. The final type of procedure for pass, fail, urgent repair is literally urgent repair. You would click this if you notice that the machine is in danger of going down, or you notice that this repair for this specific step, it is so bad that we have to do urgent repair right now to fix whatever this step is addressing. If that is the case, when you click urgent repair, it will prompt you to create a brand new work order based off of that failed procedure or urgent repair procedure. As you'll notice here, it says urgent repair this procedure. That was what this procedure was called, telling me to demo it to you. If I want to put in comments here, I could put in comments as well. Same thing for work description. I could put that in. Whatever I want to do, when I click the arrow here, this work order will be created with no assignment. Someone would have to go into this work order and now give it an assignment. In case right now it has a temporary number, temp underscore 3320. It doesn't have an actual work order number yet. Sometimes if I refresh it like so, which I just did, it gives it a brand new work order. In this case, it's 3634. Now, I want to go back to the work order that I was working on. So I'm going to go back here and find the one I was working on because I'm still signed into it here. And we're going to go back into that one. Now, you will notice that the work order I just created, the urgent repair one, it was not assigned to me. It was not assigned to anyone. So if I click all, it'll be right here somewhere. It'll be right there it is, just to give you an idea of where it went. Let's go back to mine so I can show you the other things we can do with a work order. We're going to click View Details. We've already looked at the procedures. We've looked at documents. One thing that I did not show you about documents is that you have the ability here, if you're on a mobile device, to hit your plus button and take a photo. So you could browse your device for a file possibly, or a photo you've already taken, or you could take a photo right now. So for example, if I click Take Photo, it might open up my webcam. In this case, it does not because my webcam is being used to record my face in the video. But if you were not recording yourself and you were on a laptop, you could take a photo of yourself or of whatever the webcam was facing. And it will automatically take that photo and put it into the entity, the related entity of your work order called Documents. And there's no limit to how many you can put in there. So you could take as many photos as you need to document this issue, and it will automatically show up in the related entity called Documents. We talked about part charges already. You could add them manually, or you could have taken them from part requirements. If I want to also add this cabin air filter from part requirements, all I need to do is click Add to Part Charges. Hit your little circular box there and hit the greater than sign. And now you've officially added this thing to your part charges. If I go click Part Charges, I will see it is there now. If for some reason you needed to do a manual labor charge, you could do that as well by clicking the plus button here and adding in your labor charge. Keep in mind, at the contact record, you need to make sure you have given your employee some type of rate type. You only have to have one, but you have to have some type of type in there. In this case, this employee has a rate type called Ordinary. And then I could say, if I want to get really detailed, I could do the from here and the to, or I could just enter how many hours it was. And if I wanted to put a comment, put a comment. When this value is put in, let's say 1 hour, this button is no longer grayed out. So I can click this button here to put in this labor charge. In this case, I'm not going to do that because the timer is already running. I don't want to save this change. Now, there are cases in which you may need to assign this work order to someone else. Maybe you've started the work order, but you have not the ability to complete it. And if that's the case, under Assignments, I can click on the plus button and help give this to someone else. Now, currently it shows my assignment here. Fluke Mobile 1 is the user that I'm currently using. But if I click the X here, what I can do is now I can select someone else. So let's go select someone else by clicking the magnifying glass, and we can find someone else to do the work for us or with us. In this case, we're going to give it to, we will give this one to Callie Bub. She's really good. She can handle it. And you can, if you want to, give them the from and to information. This information is what will show up on the scheduler, and this will tell you where on the scheduler in X5 this will show up. As soon as I click this button, if Callie had a Fluke Mobile account, she would now see this in her My Work Orders area. And what I could possibly do now is if I was done, if my shift was over and I didn't have any more time, I could now stop my timer. And here's my time, 0.14 hours. Hit my greater than sign up there, and I could complete the work order. If I hit complete here, then on my mine list, the work order will go away, but it will still appear for Callie on her mine work order list. I'm going to go ahead and do that and click the complete button. Now my assignment status is completed. I can then go back. So remember, this was called 3633. If I click the arrows here and sort this by work order number, 3633, there it is. Go into it. We're going to click into three little lines here, and we're going to complete it here. Once I complete it here, remember, I don't want to close it because it's still going to be open. Callie's going to finish it. So once I click complete here, it tells me I have incomplete task procedures and I have meter readings. Now I've already done these. Let's go to procedures and see what it's telling me to do. I've done that one. Looks like it's thinking, it doesn't think that I added a meter reading. Maybe I didn't do something right there. So let's go ahead and do that. Miles. Save it. And there's urgent repair. Oh, I didn't say yes, no, not applicable to the final one here. So that's a good thing. Click yes there. That means I did this yes, no. Now keep in mind the yes, no, not applicable will not trigger any type of workflows that will make a follow-up work order. That was my fault on that one. Let's now complete this work order. It says consider adding meter readings. I already did that, so I'm not going to do it again. And click the arrow to finally complete it. This particular one's asking for a signature, so I'm going to put my signature here. Pardon my chicken scratch. I'm using a mouse. And this one is now done. Now, like I tried to demo a moment ago, let's go back and sort this by work order number, largest to smallest. And now you'll notice that the work order is no longer here, because it shouldn't be. I've completed my part and it is completed for me and it is gone. Again, Callie would still see it. All right, let's go back to mine and let's see if there's anything that we've missed. So we've gone over how to look at the procedures, documents, parts requirements, part charges, miscellaneous charges, labor charges, and we've even looked at how we can assign someone else to the work order. We've seen how the start button works. It starts the timer. We can have one running timer per technician going at once. You cannot be signed into more than one work order at one time. The three dots here allows us to create follow-ups, complete work orders, or close them. The last thing we need to look at today is that you do have the option from the work order list view. You can also create a work order by clicking the plus button here. Hit your plus button, fill out the appropriate details, and then hit the button here at the top right, and you can create a work order. This was meant to give you an idea of how the work order process works in Fluke Mobile for X5. Thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next one.